Hey y'all, I've been thinking about my grandma a lot lately, so I decided to make one of my favorite dishes she used to make. It's callaloo and saltfish with fried dumplings, and when I tell you y'all, it's bussin'. Here are all the ingredients. I start off by boiling my saltfish, and the reason I do this is because I want to extract all the salt from the saltfish. You can do it one or two ways. You can soak your saltfish overnight and let it extract all the water, the salt out, or dilute the salt in the fish, or you can just do it the quick way, which is like boiling on the stovetop. While that's cooking, I start to clean my callaloo. You can buy callaloo in a can. I just found this fresh in the international market I went to the other day, and so I decided to just clean it and cut it myself. So here I'm separating the stalks from the stems. I tasted my saltfish after it was boiling for 30 minutes and it was still salty, so I refreshed the water and let it cook for another 20. Here I'm cleaning my callaloo leaves and I'm chopping them, and then I also cleaned and cut the stems. Now the stems of the callaloo leaf are a little tough, so you're gonna have to clean them up at the bottom, like scrape some of that bark off of them. Now I'm cutting up all my seasonings. I got my sweet peppers, I got sweet onions, I got green onions. I have some garlic going on, and then I also have some tomatoes. You don't gotta add tomatoes. You don't have to add any of these ingredients. Tomatoes is not common in callaloo necessarily, but I like to add them to my callaloo because I like the freshness. Now I'm making my dough for the dumplings. Now for me, the dumplings are it, right? It is why I like this meal the most. So for the fried dumplings, you're not making a sophisticated dough. You're just adding 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of room temperature butter, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of baking powder. And you mix it all up and you slowly incorporate some warm water until it forms into a dough ball. Okay. And you can add or subtract how you want to. Like I said, there's no real science to it. I really just kind of eyeball. I'm giving you measurements, but I don't really know if that's how much I use, y'all. I might have used more or less. Just figure it out, okay? You need those ingredients. Now, once my dough was finished, I set it to the side to let the dough relax. And then my fish was ready the second time I boiled it. Most of the salt was out, so I shredded it up. Now I'm about to cook everything in a pan, and it doesn't take long, y'all. Like I said, callaloo is like spinach, so it doesn't take long. I add my seasoning to the pan first, which are my onions, my peppers, etc. Then I add my saltfish, which is now diluted, so it's not really salty, and I'm starting to season it again. I add some pepper, and I let everything cook down, let my onions and peppers and things like that sweat down. Then I add my callaloo, and then I'm going to season my callaloo with some paprika, smoked paprika, onion, I think that's garlic powder. That's no salt table seasoning. It's like a vegetable-based table seasoning. And then I also have another no salt vegetable based table seasoning, and then I have some jerk seasoning as well. It's not in this video, but I did add some sprigs of thyme and also my tomatoes at the very end and 1 whole Scotch bonnet. I just let that cook in there. You don't need to add any water. The steam will let it cook down. Now I'm adding my dough. Off screen, I separated them and formed them into little balls, and I dropped them into some oil. I let them cook for about 6 to 8 minutes on each side until they were golden brown. Make sure it's on medium heat, not super high, and it looks like that. Bussin'.